Welcome to another video. You've got Mr. Everything English, and today is a very special day. Today, guys, marks 2 months. We are 2 months out of the beginning of the start of our GCSE exams. 60 days. Now, this year, like every other year, guys, it comes and goes so quick. We always think we have time, but really, guys, time is running super quick. I bet you guys, when you guys were in year 7 and in year 8, and you would hear about GCSEs, it would feel like something really far away. That's not me yet. But here we are, 2 months, guys. In 2 months, you begin the most important exams of your education history. That is why I say, guys, that these next 2 months, and for me, it's not a debate, these next 2 months are the most important months of your education life. Now, how do you prep? What do you do over these next 2 months? There's 4 main things I want to speak about, but they all come in stages. The first thing I want to speak about, guys, is you need to get your mind right. Why? Because if your mind is not right, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. You will carry on procrastinating. You will carry on making excuses. You will carry on not doing what you're supposed to do because you haven't understood what is happening. Now, to get your mind right, we must discuss a few things that students use to justify maybe lack of effort, lack of work. The first thing I want to talk about, guys, is this idea of, sir, I don't need GCSEs, I'm never going to use them. That is a valid point. You may never ever use your GCSEs. But unfortunately, my friend, you are not like the witches from Macbeth. You cannot predict the future. Just like you, I have no clue what the future holds for me. There may be a day that you need your GCSEs. Or there may be a day where you never need your GCSEs. But why would you really limit yourself at such a young age? Not everyone is gonna get famous and rich on TikTok, on Bitcoin, selling courses online. You will maybe face a day where your English and Maths GCSE are super important. I have students who come to me at the age of 30, 40, 50, having to redo GCSEs. And guys, I promise you, you don't know what the future holds. So don't ruin your life and don't limit yourself. And I accept it. You might not use them. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying you might. You might not, but you might. So why would you shove yourself in a corner? Why would you limit yourself? Guys, I say this to you guys because genuinely I do not want to see you ruin your chances for the future because you think at the age of 15, 16, I don't need my GCSEs because some clever clog said it on TikTok. Guys, you might. So please get out of that mindset. Second point, guys. Don't let your past define your present. Don't let your past define your present. We all go through life, guys, and we carry labels as we go through life, right? So some kids are labeled as, this is the kid that works really hard. This is the kid that doesn't work really hard. This is the kid that is the class clown. This is the rough kid, the strong kid. This is the sporty kid. We all carry labels. And what happens is, whether we like it or not, we begin to perform. We begin to live up to these labels. But sometimes these labels are not good for us. Sometimes these labels are not the best because they can make you behave in a way that leads to an absolute pit of fire. So just because you've been known as the kid who's lazy since year 7, of course you can change that. You're going to be known to be lazy until the day you die? No, there comes a point in life where you're going to have to take off that label, put it in the bin, and create a new version of yourself. If you've been known as the class clown, and now if you revise, it's a bit awkward because you've been cussing people who work hard your entire 5 years at school. Well, my friend, you can either carry that label into the pit of fire, or you can take it off, put it in the bin, and get your mind right. Forget, and even to those kids who've been grade 9 students up until now. Guys, respectfully, your mocks don't matter. Year 10 doesn't matter. Year 9, 8, 7 doesn't matter. All that matters is what happens this year in May and June. So, everyone is now on a level playing field. All of us have 2 months. All of us have 2 months. Now, yes, some of you may have an advantage because of how hard you worked. That's something I'll talk about later. But all of you are on a level playing field. All of us have a chance to start fresh. So guys, drop that mindset. Drop your labels. Drop whatever you've carried from the past up until now and use today as a day that, you know what? I'm going to make a conscious decision that now, just for 2 months, I'm not asking for a lifetime commitment. This is not marriage. All I'm asking, guys, is for the next 2 months, get your poop together. Get your poop together, because you will be the one suffering later. So number 1, get that argument out of your mind about GCSEs not mattering, because it might matter, so prep accordingly. Number 2, don't paralyze yourself because you refuse to drop labels. You refuse to get out of habits you've developed in the past. And the last thing, guys, about getting your mind right. You now must take responsibility for your grades. Not your teachers, not your school, not your tutor, not your mom, not your dad, not your brother, not your sister. They are not responsible. They're really not. You must now take responsibility. You must go to that do not disturb mode. Do you know how in your iPhone, you turn your iPhone on do not disturb? That dark place where no one finds you, no one talks to you. Why? Not because you're in bed sleeping, but because you're working on a goal. You're working on a mission. So you literally disappear from the world. All these distractions, literally anything, guys, anything that diverts you from the task, forget about it for now. It's only 2 months. It's only 2 months. Guys, I promise you, if I ever told you how I built this business, for a big chunk of my life, nobody ever saw me. I was just working. I was working, I was building, I was working, I was building, non-stop. Every day for months and months and months and months. No social life, no friends, no family, no gatherings, no places to go. Let's go out to eat. None of it. I was literally just working. But it had to be done. It was a short-term sacrifice for a long-term goal. You now must make a short-term sacrifice. If you're addicted to your PS5, are you gonna let your PS5 dictate your goddamn future? Put the damn thing in the bin. Put it away. Forget your mom and dad unplugging it. Do it yourself. If you're addicted to your phone, make ways, make amendments to your life so that phone is not always there. If you're out too much with your friends, learn to say no. There's nothing wrong with saying no. It's cool. And if your friends have a problem with you revising, then my friend, they're not really your friends. They're gonna drag you down into that pit of fire that they're going towards. All they wanna do is increase the group size. It's okay, guys, to say no. It's okay to say things that you don't normally say. I'm good. I'm not coming out. I'm good. I'm not gonna be playing tonight. I'm good. I'm not gonna be doing whatever. It's okay. But you must take responsibility. Because guys, life after high school can become very, very lonely. When you're in high school, you've got your friends, you've got your family, you've got your teachers, you've got a whole support mechanism. Guys, after high school, after secondary school, it's not like that. And if you fail now, you're gonna be left to the side. You're gonna pick up a job, and that's gonna dictate your life. I'm not saying you don't there's no other ways you can make money, but it just gets harder, guys. it just gets more difficult. Just pass your subjects. Don't fail now. I'm not talking about grade 9s or grade 8s, but don't fail now. Because if you fail now, you then have to make sure something else works. Please guys, get your mind right. Take that responsibility. Turn yourself into a do not disturb mode. Go to that dark place. Disappear from your distractions and really focus on the objective at hand. Then guys, hopefully you get your mind right. Because if you don't get your mind right, what I'm gonna say next isn't gonna work. So you might as well turn the video off here. But if you think there's hope, if you think you can get your mind right, if you think you can appreciate and understand what is coming next, the next step you must do, guys, and I'm not gonna say 1,000 things, I'm gonna say one thing. The next thing you must do is you must create a routine and stick to it. I promise you that's the most important things. We are people of habits. We are people of routine. You do over and over again what you're used to. You sometimes will do things that you don't even like, but just because it's a habit, you do it. So if it's become a habit that every day after school at 7 p.m. you turn on your PS5, it's a habit. We do things out of habits, and these habits build up, and they build up and create what? They create our life. If you want to look at someone's life, just look at what they do a lot. What do they spend their time doing? What do they spend their time running after? That will define what their life becomes. If you spend your life chasing after girls, then yeah, you're going to become a moist person who has nothing to offer the world other than running after girls. Guys, your habits will really define you. So the first thing you must do, and guys, remember, I'm not talking about changing your life forever. I'm saying change your life for 2 months and then change it forever. I'm talking about just the 2 months. Guys, make a schedule, a revision timetable, whatever, a life timetable. Yeah, let's call it a life timetable. But let's stick to a schedule. From the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep, schedule what you're gonna do for the next 2 months. So look guys, let's say you're going to school from 8:30 to 3:30. By the time you get home, chill out for a little while, make it 5:36, yeah? So a chunk of your life is timetable for you anyway. Now, of course, just because you're going to school doesn't mean you're learning. You need to make sure you're awake. You need to make sure you're alert. You need to make sure you're focused. Now, what do you do outside of these times? Guys, put together a plan. Put together a plan. As a minimum, every evening, you should be revising at the moment. So 2 months out, right? Minimum, by the way. This is minimum. 2 hours? 3 hours? Remember, if you're falling off your chair, thinking right now, sir, what are you talking about? That's too much. You need to get your mind right, my friend. If you can't sacrifice 2-3 hours a night for 2 months that will change your life, then you are stuck at the first step. You are still at that first step. You're at the door over there. You're not in the room yet. Get your mind right, then enter. I'm talking to the people who now want to smash their GCSEs, who now want to do well. You need to spend 2-3 hours an evening focusing, working hard. No games, no TV, no YouTube, no TikTok. No is a hyperbole. Yeah, do it, but do it after your 2-3 hours. Really focus in on this time. And put pen to paper. So say Monday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. I will be doing XYZ. 1.5 hours English, 1 hour maths, half an hour French, whatever. You make your timetable for the week based upon what subjects you're doing. Now, once you've got your routine, I promise you guys, if you can develop a habit of sticking to it, you will find everything so much easier. You will find everything so much easier. Now, when I speak about routine, guys, I'm also going to speak about something else. And that is your general lifestyle, your diet, your fitness, and all that stuff that people don't really talk about when it comes to prepping for exams, but it's so important. Guys, you know, when I am eating rubbish food and when I'm not going to the gym, I promise you it affects my work ethic. I feel sluggish. I feel lazy. I feel slow. But when I get my diet right, when I get my food right, when I get my lifestyle right, work is way more productive. I could sleep for 5 hours and be a Superman for the whole day. But if I'm eating rubbish and have no fitness, I could sleep for 8 hours, 9 hours, and still feel tired. Why do I say that, guys? You're gonna revise, right? You're gonna prep, but also get other parts of your life in order as well. So try to eat a bit better, some better food. Try to do a bit of fitness. Now look, you're in year 11. You're not gonna go ham in the gym. Not yet. That's for summer holidays. That's a different video. But do something that exercises your body and not just your mind, because they both come together perfectly. Maybe go for a run, go for a walk, do something. Because all these things contribute, guys. Let's say you're playing one of my videos. Stick in your headphones, go for a walk. I talk so much, it'll probably last you about 30 minutes. So that's about a couple of thousand steps. But look at other ways of revising. If you find that sitting in a room like this or in your bedroom at home isn't working for you, find a different spot. Go to the library. You've probably never been to the library, ever. But remember, it's time to remove the labels. Go to the library. Maybe go sit downstairs in your house where other people can see you. Maybe it'll hold you more accountable rather than hiding in your bedroom. Maybe do go for walks, playing videos and listening to videos rather than just sitting at home slumped on your bed. But what I'm trying to say, guys, is this: create your routine, but then build a lifestyle around your routine to make sure you can fulfill it. Because sometimes you can make a nice routine that looks lovely on paper, but it's gonna stick on paper, guys. It's never gonna move. So number one, guys, get your mind right. Number two, create some kind of routine, create some kind of structure. Number three, guys, this can be quite hard. This can be quite hard. We live in a world, right, especially boys, for those young men who watch my videos. I speak to you because I can relate to this. But even the girls, I get it. Guys, this can be quite hard. We live in a world where asking for help is seen as a sign of weakness. Where telling somebody you're struggling or you don't know what to do is seen as a sign of weakness. So what do you end up doing? Just be quiet. You shut up. And you just kind of carry on existing. Now, normally in life, that doesn't get exposed until a lot later. But the problem we have is we've got 2 months for our GCSEs. If you need help, guys, ask. Ask your parents. Ask your teachers. Ask your tutor. Ask me. Ask somebody for help. But I'm not saying here, ask for help in the sense of ask for help for nonsense. I'm saying ask for help for things you don't know how to do. So if you're struggling in making a routine or a schedule, ask. Ask somebody, can I see yours? Show me your schedule, show me your routine, and maybe take ideas. Don't worry, it's not plagiarism. But yeah, maybe take ideas. Maybe ask your school. Look, based upon my mock exams, what subjects should I be focusing on? Always English and maths first. What subjects should I be focusing on? And by that, put it together. Or maybe make a timetable and show your form teacher. Now, this is the problem, guys. Look, I wish, right, I wish you guys could physically come and sit in these chairs and I could literally stand there and help you one by one. But the problem is that so many of you guys is one of me. You're gonna have to use other avenues. Guys, your parents. Sometimes it can be really hard asking help from parents, especially if you haven't got that relationship. It doesn't mean your parents don't love you. It just means you might not be able to have that emotional kind of discussion. Try it. Try it. It's gonna be hard. You might need to walk in and out of that room 5 times before you have the courage to speak. But just say, look, sit down with me, I need some help. Help me get going. Once I'm going, I'll be okay. But guys, do ask for help. Because if you don't ask for help, you're gonna regret it later. So figure out in your life who you have around you and really, really do try to reach out and ask for that help. And don't think you're alone, guys. Sometimes life can be very lonely, especially the world we live in. We live in a very online world. Where online, we have a lot of people that can talk and help us. But in real life, we have nobody. Try to build that real life help. Your first point of contact is your family, is your parents. If that is not working, then go to your school. Find a teacher that maybe isn't even your teacher. Maybe they taught you back in year 7, but they were the best teacher. Take 10 minutes out of the time. But do something, guys, because if you don't ask for help, you're gonna struggle later. And guys, my last part of the video is once you've got your mind right, once you've got your routine, your revision timetable, your life timetable in order, once you've asked for help if you need it, the last thing that you have to do, because everything else that I just spoke about will be worthless if you don't do this. This is based upon proven research. This is based upon proven data. I am not here to waste your time. I am not here to tell you things just to tick a box. If you don't do this, everything else that I told you will be a waste of time. We are 2 months out, 60 days from your exams. You need to make sure that when you are revising, now I'm going to speak now specifically about revising, that when you are revising, you are not wasting your time. Make sure that when you're revising, you're actually working. Forget your pastel colored highlighters. Forget your flashcards. Forget your notes. Forget whatever you've done up until now. What you have to make sure you do over the next 2 months is consistent practice. Data and research has proven year after year after year that the number one way of revising, of prepping for an exam, is through practice. Let's take English, for example. If you are studying Macbeth, Inspector Calls, Romeo and Juliet, at this point, you should now begin doing past papers every week. And the past papers will show you 3 things. Number 1, they will improve your timing. You can only get better at writing through writing. They will improve your timing. You might not finish the exam in week 1, but by week 4, by week 6, you will get there. It's the practice that makes it better. Now, let's say you do 2 exams a week. That's 1 hour 45 one day, 1 hour 45 another day. That is you doing 17 to 16 exams before your GCSEs in a short amount of time. When you walk into your GCSEs, it will feel so comfortable because you've done this 17 times in the past 8 weeks. 16 times, 15 times. You need that practice. Number 2, guys, it is only the practice that will show you what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. So for example, those of you who struggle to memorize quotes off by heart, try to recall them in the exam. Again, the first time you do it, you might fail ridiculously. But the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 12th, 15th time of trying to recall the same quote, you will do it 100%. If you struggle in talking about certain characters, do past papers. In past papers, you might realize, hold on, every time I do a past paper on Macbeth, I can smash it. But every time I do a past paper on an Inspector Calls, I get stuck. Okay, I now know I need to go back and maybe rejig my revision for Inspector Calls. But it's the practice that will show you this. It really is the practice. Yes, watch my content. Yes, read analysis. Yes, do all that stuff. But once you've done all that stuff, go and put it into practice. Last week, I released that video about the 4 top Macbeth quotes. Go and use them. Go and pick a past paper and see what happens. But it is in that process, guys, that you will find out your strengths, your weaknesses, improve your timing. English language. How are you gonna make English language better? Guys, practice. Do past papers. Timing is one of the biggest problems. Timing can only be fixed through practice. Paper 1, question 5, for those of you who are pre-planning. If you do 2 question 5s a week, between now and your GCSEs. Now again, you might think, sir, what the heck, 2 question 5s? That's 45 minutes each. If you can't give English 45 minutes each, if you can't give English, let's say you give English 4 to 5 hours a week. 2 hours on a Monday, 2 hours on a Friday, 1 hour on a Sunday. If you can't give English minimum 5 hours a week, maths 5 hours a week, then go back to the first step because you didn't get your mind right. You're not ready for this part of the video. But anyway, guys, if you're struggling, for example, paper 1, question 5, if you practiced 1 question 5 or 2 question 5s a week, you've done 16 question 5s by the, 18 question 5, because that exam is on May 23rd. You've done 18 question 5s by the time you get to your GCSEs. Guys, your GCSE will feel like a walk in the park. But what am I trying to say, guys? It's good to get your mind right. It's good to create a routine. It's good to ask for help. But if the manifestation of all of that is you sitting there with pastel colors, creating nice little notes and highlighting stuff, then you have bloody wasted your time. You have wasted your time. Make sure that the output of all this is good quality revision. If somebody wants to be a boxer and they get their mind right and they get help and then they end up taking wrestling classes, they are wasting their time. They're not going to be a boxer because they're doing the wrong thing. Make sure your output of all of the above is good quality work. All right, guys. I apologize if I spoke a lot. But this video is very, very, very important, guys. It's such an important video because this video helps you do everything else. You can, guys, become like a machine. You know, sometimes, right, because this is education and you guys are year 11s, I have to speak quite nicely. I can't swear, for example. I can't say certain things. But guys, I swear to God, become a machine. Become dark. Not in a bad way. In a like a selfish way. Dark as in turn off the distractions. Focus on the goal at hand. And like a man obsessed, like a woman obsessed, every day for the next 60 days. And it's not that long. Put a countdown on your wall. 60, 59, 58. Trust me, it'll go down so quick. Put a countdown and day by day by day, sharpen your skills, get ready for the task ahead. And if people around you are still saying stuff like, forget your GCSEs, they're not important, then you know what? For the next 60 days, just turn them on silent. Just turn them on silent. Because they're not cut from the cloth that we are. I truly live by the mindset. Anything you do in life, you'd be the best at it. Anything you do. Whether it's GCSEs, whether it's sports, whether it's a parent, whether it's whatever you're doing in life, try to be the best at it. You will do your GCSEs regardless. Whether you are dragged in there screaming and crying, or whether you walk in there with your chest high because you've done the prep, all of you are going to do your exams. Why not make it the best? All of you are going to get your results. Some of you are going to fail because you can't get your mind right. Some of you are going to walk out surprised, thinking, damn, I did way better than I thought I could. My predictions were 4 and 5s. I got 7, 8s, 9s. You know why? Because you woke up. All right, guys, it's been Mr. Everything English. 60 days. Let's do this. Peace. Everything Education. Tuition for maths, English, and science.